Hey guys, so here it is, the item on the top. That's my new underquilt for my Ridge Runner, or probably work on any other bridge hammock. And it used to be one of these doodads, $20 at Costco. And probably the biggest challenge with making one of these things is creating the differential baffle, because these are sewn through. So what I did was I basically took a piece of 1.1 coyote sill and cut it in the shape. I'll show you the template I used. Cut it in the shape that I wanted to make it, and this doesn't stretch. It maybe stretches a little bit, but then I to a margin of about 2 inches on either side when I cut the actual comforter. That margin gives you a little bit of the differential. That's what it creates. And at the top, this isn't an exact science. I'll show you the template I made, but you do cat cuts on the sides. So when you pull the corners tight, then it tightens everything up. But you don't want it too tight, because like I said, one of the reasons why I've got a little extra width here, where I had extra margin that I sewed to the side here, to create a the pseudo differential baffle. These are still sewn through. I don't know what this will go to. I'd be willing to bet it'll go to 35 degrees, but when I get a chance I'll try it. And then I used Grosgain. Had a nice attachment for my sewing machine that allowed me to keep that pretty tight, and then I've got some bungee on the corners. When I show you this on the hammock, I've got a hefty bungee cord down through here. This is comparable to the 3/4 length. Just say you'd get from War Bonnet. When you turn the hammock upside down, I'll show you, and when I show you the template, it's pretty much shaped a lot narrower than a normal underquilt would be. And if you take the measurements from the bottom across the hammock and across the top where it's going to attach, and basically apply cat cuts, that works pretty good. Now what happened was, when I first made this, I made it a little too wide across the top and I had to add this pleat. But when I added that pleat, it actually enhanced the performance of the quilt. So I'm real happy with that. I'd probably do that on purpose again next time. So yeah, there it is. Costco throw. And it was easier, right? I don't know if you've seen Jack's Drinkwater's video on his underquilt that's sewed to a hammock. I made that for him, and this was about at least half as easy as that. Pretty straightforward. So I'll show you I'll show it to you on the hammock, and I'll show you the template I used. Okay guys, I said I would show you the template I used, and here it is. It's made out of Tyvek, and I made it out of Tyvek in case I wanted to use it again. But across the bottom, dimensions, across the bottom, 26 inches end to end. You can see that catenary cut right there. And on the side, this is a GoPro, so it kind of makes everything look square when it's actually not as square. This side, from this point to this point, straight line, 49 inches. And then across the top, when I first made it, it's 41 inches from tip to tip, and with a little bit of roundness. Now what happened was that 41 inches ended up being a little too wide, and it worked out because the pleat I talked about, I took out about 5 inches. And so if I make this again, I'm going to do it exactly the same way, because I got lucky and it turned out. So that's the template, made out of Tyvek. It's real easy. If you lay the hammock upside down and you put your ruler on it, I think you did measurements, you would find out that that's about what you'd come up with. Okay, so here's a shot of the underquilt installed. You can see it's not full length. It's about 3/4 length, and My wife thinks this crap's funny. But anyway, so I attached it by basically lark's heading some of this this fine string here through one of these adjustable dingers here, and that's attached to some really beefy shock cord. So I kind of threw this together. I wanted some beefy shock cord in case it needed to be extra tight. Running up the side here, you can see that's it's on the corner, and then I've got this a little bit of a catenary curve there, and that helps bring everything tight. It pulls all the corners together. So there's another catenary curve here a little bit, and I've got this basically just hooked with this shock cord. Everything gets a little bit of play. In the center, you can see where I did my stitching there to bring that together. When I first made this, I made the top part a little too wide, so I had to take out some slack. It actually worked out better though, because it gives a little bit of bulge, and when you get in the thing, your head's a little higher and it bulges down anyway, so that worked out good. So got it all clicked in. Need to flip it over. Got a couple things inside there, and you can see that it's hooked up there pretty good. And I'm gonna get my wife to get in this thing in a minute and be able to see how tight it gets. Again, the catenary curve helps, but you don't want it to get too tight because you don't want to pull all the loft out of this. So anyway, let's get the wife and put her in here. Honey! All right, let's get my able assistance in the hammock. You can see here that those catenary curves pretty much follow the hammock, and it's pretty tight. It's pretty tight against the side. Still got some loft down here, although it's almost a little bit tighter than I want it to be, but there's quite a bit of down in there. And if this wasn't sewn through, I'd say it'd probably go below 35 degrees, but I'm gonna say this is probably good to 35. And you can see it's tight up against the side. If I wanted to get even tighter, I don't want to pull it too tight, but I've got this beefy dude here. I can just, pull on the string and it's even tighter. So let's go around and look at the top. She's kind of at an angle a little bit, but you can see it's all tight up around her shoulders, which is good. Don't want any drafts. And that's when the shock cord comes into play. Hold still. Ugh. Yeah, we're on this side. She's at a little bit of an angle, so, but yeah, I'm happy with it. You can see it goes just below her knees, and then of course for calves, you got cold, put some underneath those. That's what it looks like. We're happy with it. How you doing in there?